Hi, I'm Shagun Uppal, and today I'll be presenting our work distilling motion planner augmented policies into visual control policies for robot manipulation. This work is jointly done with my co-authors Arthur Liu, Gaurav Sukhatme, Joseph Lim, Peter Englert, and Youngwon Lee. Prior work mainly tackled robotic manipulation tasks in clean and controlled environments, like the kitchen in this picture. However, in reality, we often see this messy kitchen. To perform a manipulation task like grasping a cup, a robot has to navigate through these dish plates and pots on the table. In this work, we aim to solve manipulation tasks in such complicated and obstructed environments. One approach to solve such tasks is by combining the strengths of an RL agent, which is capable of learning contact-rich skills but lacks collision-free motion, with the long horizon planning capabilities of motion planners. An example for the same is a prior work, Motion Planner Augmented Reinforcement Learning MOPA-RL, which augments the action space of an RL agent with a motion planner and can solve complex manipulation tasks in obstructed environments, like the assembly task here, where the robot has to navigate around the table legs to attach the missing leg to the table. Specifically, MOPA-RL decides direct action execution or motion planning based on the magnitude of the action proposed by the RL policy. If the predicted action at any time step is large, the robot is more likely to have collisions with obstacles in realizing that action. In this case, the motion planner is used to execute that large action in a collision-free manner. On the other hand, if the predicted action is small, it is executed directly in the environment. However, there are several problems with MOPA-RL. Firstly, it cannot be used on real robots due to its dependency on the environment state information. Secondly, motion planner is often slow and has high computational cost. And thirdly, its lack of reactive behavior. So now the question is, how do we solve such manipulation tasks in obstructed environments without using the environment state? To solve this, we propose a two-step framework. We start with MOPA-RL, which requires the robot state and environment state as input. Next, we propose a distillation method, which distills the state-based policy into a vision-based policy. This visual control policy no longer requires the environment state and functions only with the environment image and the robot state. During this distillation process, we remove the motion planner, which is often slow and has high computational cost. Additionally, we remove the policy's dependency on the environment state, which makes it more suitable for sim-to-sim and sim-to-real transfers. For this work, we use 3 obstructed environments for common manipulation tasks, such as pushing, lifting, and assembly, using a Rethink Sawyer. For distilling motion planning algorithms into neural motion planners, behavioral cloning is one of the most commonly used frameworks, directly learning from expert demonstrations. However, the major drawback of this approach is that at its best, a behavioral cloning agent performs as good as its demonstrator, thereby limiting its performance by the demonstrator's performance. To address this issue, various off-policy reinforcement learning methods use a learning from demonstrations approach, where they store expert demonstrations in a separate replay buffer for guided exploration and succeed in learning policies better than the expert. However, such prior works mainly focus on unobstructed and fully observable environments and learn policies in the state space. Therefore, we propose a method that can successfully perform manipulation tasks in obstructed environments with a vision-based policy. Our distillation method consists of 2 stages. In stage 1, we collect multiple transitions from a trained MOPA-RL policy and store them into an expert demonstration dataset for training the behavioral cloning policy. Since MOPA-RL decides when to call the motion planner or execute the direct actions, we need to be cautious when collecting these transitions. We only store the direct actions and interpolated actions from the motion planner in the demonstration dataset. As those actions all reside in the direct action space, actions from the augmented action space will not be penalized by the BC policy due to the differences in their magnitudes. After MOPA-RL data collection, we train a behavioral cloning policy using this dataset. This step is essential because BC smooths out the MOPA-RL trajectories which otherwise have jittery motions due to the involvement of a motion planner. This figure shows the 3D end effector positions of a MOPA-RL trajectory in orange and a BC smooth trajectory in blue for a random rollout for Sawyer lift task. In the zoomed in view, we can see that the orange line is significantly more jittery than the blue line. Such non-smooth paths from motion planners can make it hard for the RL agent to learn smooth and consistent motions. These plots show that the distillation method without BC smoothing, that is the orange line here, fails to learn the Sawyer assembly task and converges slower on the other two tasks. However, our proposed approach with BC smoothing consistently learns to solve all the three tasks, circumventing the issue of jittery motion planner trajectories. Once the BC training completes, we collect multiple rollouts by interacting with the environment using our BC policy and save these transitions in an expert replay buffer. The main purpose of using a separate expert replay buffer is to permanently keep hold of the expert trajectories during training to facilitate guided exploration. In stage 2, we train an RL agent with an asymmetric actor critique architecture, where the actor is learned with image observations and the critique is trained using environment states. The choice of this method is motivated by learning transferable visual policies which do not require state information during inference and also benefit from the access to environment states in simulation. Since the agent now has to learn from pixels, meaningful initializations can significantly improve the sample efficiency. Therefore, we leverage the prior experience collected by our state-based agent and initialize the critique weights with a MOPA-RL critique, and utilize the BC agent learned during trajectory smoothing to initialize the weights of the actor. As shown in these graphs, without the proposed weight initializations, the policy fails to learn any of the tasks. In contrast, proper weight initializations significantly improve the learning speed and also help achieve optimal performance. Since the RL agent already starts from some experience collected by the state-based agent and the BC agent using weight initialization, an important question is, what should be the exploration-exploitation trade-off? To give more intuition on exploration versus exploitation, as we can see in this picture that a robot is trying to decide where to eat. Eating at the usual place means it can expect to have the same quality of meals as it enjoyed in the past. However, eating at a new restaurant means there's a potential for it being better or worse than the usual one. Now, suppose if the agent already has some prior feedback about the grand opening from an ALI agent who already visited the place. In this case, it would be beneficial for the agent to learn such prior information to quickly decide instead of deciding from scratch. Similarly, because the RL agent can utilize the trajectories and weights of the MOPA-RL and BC policy, it's intuitive to leverage those experiences and have more exploitation than exploration. We control this by adjusting the entropy regularization coefficient alpha, which controls the exploration versus exploitation trade-off during the SAC training. Since we utilize prior knowledge obtained by the state-based agent using weight initialization, we use alpha value that is smaller than the final alpha value of our state-based agent MOPA-RL. As illustrated in these plots, a visual policy that utilizes prior knowledge can benefit from using a low alpha value. We call our proposed method MOPA-PD, that is Motion Planner Augmented Policy Distillation. For evaluation, we use average discounted rewards, which would be higher when a task is completed in a shorter time due to the exponentially decaying gamma parameter with increasing time steps. Since our method completes each of the tasks at least 2 to 3 times faster compared to the baselines, its average discounted reward is also much higher. As illustrated in these plots, our method, the blue line here, has the highest average discounted reward for all the 3 tasks compared to our state-based agent MOPA-RL, the BC agent, as well as all the other baselines. To further analyze the dependency of our approach on the success of our state-based agent MOPA-RL, We use suboptimal Moparel models to generate demonstration data and for critique weight initialization. Irrespective of whether Moparel performs bad, okay, or optimally, our method can still achieve 99% success rate, which shows that our method is independent of how well the Moparel and the BC policy perform. To validate our method's domain transfer capabilities for sim-to-sim and sim-to-real transfer, we randomize the simulation environment using different textures, colors, and lighting conditions during training. We then test our policy on different unseen scenarios with and without distractors. Our method obtains at least 95% success rate across all the unseen environments. In summary, our approach MOPA-PD distills motion planner augmented state-based policy into a visual policy which does not require motion planner or a handcrafted state space anymore. It mainly benefits from trajectory smoothing using behavioral cloning, proper weight initializations, and entropy temperature tuning to allow efficient exploration in RL when learning from pixels. If you find this work interesting, please check out our paper and code for more details. Thank you.